Hello everyone, you're welcome to Healthy Options with Maureen. Today we'll be making some sweet potato pancakes and we'll be making it with some wholesome ingredients like oats, which make this recipe very diabetic friendly. This recipe of course can be had by anyone. Kids will love this and adults will love this as well. If you can't find oats, you can always substitute this with whole wheat flour. That's if you're not a diabetic patient. But for diabetic patients, I would definitely recommend whole grain oats because it's really good for you. We'll be listing the benefits of sweet potatoes as we go along. Please come with me as we make this. I know for sure you will like this. So for our sweet potato pancakes, of course, we'll be needing some sweet potatoes. We have different varieties of sweet potatoes as you can see here. This one tends to be a bit orange by the time you cut into it, and this is a bit beige in color, more like the cream color. So we have one that we've already washed. It's been thoroughly washed. We washed it because we'll be needing the skin as well, or we'll be using the skin as well. The skin contains a good amount of fiber and some nutrients. So all we need to do is to wash it thoroughly and cut off the tips as you can see. We also need some whole grain oats. We'll be blending this in the food processor or a high-speed blender. Of course, if you don't have a high-speed blender, you can use like this dry section of your food mill that you use for grinding your nuts and grains. Things like your egusi, your melon seeds, your ogbono. It will be very easy to grind this and turn it into powder because it's actually not hard in any way. We'll be needing some canola oil, we need an egg, we need milk of course, a little bit of water to boil our sweet potatoes in. Then we'll be needing some salt, we need ginger, and we need cinnamon. We'll also be adding on a little bit of honey. In fact, I would suggest if you're a diabetic patient, you can still really enjoy these pancakes without adding on honey because sweet potatoes tend to be naturally sweet. You can also add on some vanilla extract. I don't have that. I would have added that on. But we'll go ahead and prep these ingredients and I'll show you how we make this. The first thing we will do is to cut our sweet potato into chunks. So we're just going to finish up now. And we're going to be putting everything into our pot right here. So it goes into the pot and then the water goes in. We don't want the water covering the sweet potatoes. We want it to be just barely at the surface as you can see. So we're going to start heating up this. Once it comes to a rolling ball, we're going to turn it down so that it can gently simmer. So I'll just cover this and place this on heat while I keep prepping my other ingredients. So we're going to blend our oats and that goes into the blender as you can see. I'll just cover this up and then we'll start blending. You can see the texture of the oat flour. We're just looking to bleach it. It mustn't be completely smooth. So we'll just be turning this out into a bowl as you can see. Our oats has completely transformed to oat flour. It's just as easy as that. If you can notice the change in the environment, it's just because we recently moved to a new location. We relocated to Namibia. That's why you can notice we are working in a new kitchen. We will just wait for our sweet potatoes to be cooked through, then we'll proceed with our pancakes. So as you can notice, our sweet potatoes are white tender now. I just turned up my heat. I will let this cool down for just a few minutes and then we'll go ahead and start blending it up in the blender. I'm not turning out the water. As you can notice, there's just little fluid in the sweet potatoes. So now we're blending our sweet potatoes. I'm using the same blender I used to do the oats. I just let it cool down a bit. And like I said, the fluid goes in as well. So at this point, I'll be adding the milk we'll be using. So we're just going to So we just blended this into a smooth puree and that's what it looks like on the inside. You can see how beautiful it looks. We'll be turning this out now and then we'll continue with our pancakes. So right here we have our oat flour in the bowl. Then we have our ginger powder, salt and cinnamon. We'll be adding all to the oat flour so that we can get that combined. Set this aside. And now we'll be combining our wet ingredients. The egg goes in, our canola oil goes in, and then we'll be adding on the potato puree. So that goes in as well. Then we'll be giving this a whisk, of course. combine. I'll just be putting on about a teaspoon of honey. So we'll just blend the honey in thoroughly. I'll be getting rid of the whisk now. And right now we're incorporating our oat flour mixture into the wet mixture. So that goes in. I completely forgot to mention that I'll be adding some baking soda into this mixture. Please know that it goes in with the dry mixture. So I'm just going to sprinkle it on top of the dry mixture. Try to see if I can blend it up a little bit. I don't know if that works. But then I'll use my spatula to bring everything together. Just that way. So actually that's what our batter should be looking like by the time we're done. It shouldn't be too wet. And at the same time too, it shouldn't be too dry. Right now, we'll proceed with cooking our sweet potato pancakes. We're heating our cast iron skillet for a bit now. So I'll just be adding on a little bit of oil on the cast iron skillet. So we'll just be adding some butter into our cast iron skillet. This will help make a perfect circle using a regular spoon to move it around that way. So right now it's ready and we're going to give it a flip right now. So that's what it looks like at the base. Then we'll cook the reverse side. So that's completely ready now. I'll be turning it out into a plate. So that's what it looks like at the reverse side, really beautiful. I'm just going to continue cooking and I'll come back and show you how I like to have this. So our pancakes is ready and that's how I usually like to serve it. I like to have it with a cup of tea. It goes down very well with some tea. I hope you give this recipe a go and let us know what your take is on this. Please, if you've not subscribed, don't forget to do so by clicking on the red button. Thank you.